Hi everyone, Dani Zed here, and I welcome you to one of my newest podcasts. I'm talking with Mercedes Lander of the band The White Swan, or better known as the woman behind the drums of Kittie. We just had a really enjoyable chat about her new band The White Swan and the new EP, and also some random talks, and we just went directly into the conversation. That's why I'm doing here this little intro for you guys. So I hope you will enjoy it. And now, yeah, just see us doing a lot of blah blah blah. Your new band, The White Swan. So you started
Yep.
in 2016. Now you have a new EP, Nocturnal Transmission, and
hmm
it came out on War Crime Recordings, right?
Yes.
So 4 tracks. I think it's 21 minutes or something.
hmm
So and the songs are, as I noticed from the other EPs, it's a little bit shorter songs, like 5 minute songs. And how was the writing process, depending from the last album for that one?
Um, it's I think the only time we ever really wrote stuff a little differently was the first time around, and that was like I brought a bunch of riffs to Kieran Shane, and we actually demoed them like in with no drums or anything like that. We just kind of got the ideas down, and that was for Anubis. And we kind of did everything in their living room. Whereas now, what I usually do is I'll record something and I'll send it to them. I'll have them learn everything, and then they'll come over and we'll jam, which is, sometimes I feel like some of the better ways that's one of the better ways that I work, is kind of just, having to play it. Um, Obviously I'm playing drums at that point, and then and it just kind of helps to get the song a little tighter, and anything that might happy accidents happen all the time, so you might like do something and it's like, oh, actually, you know what, that sounds really great, I think I'm going to do that. So there's all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, the process really wasn't that much different. It just we did start off with a lot more songs. I think we were shooting to do five, but it didn't end up happening that way. I couldn't get my shit together for the fifth song, so which sometimes that happens. So we ended up getting four, which was great, and which was one more than we normally do. So
So not just
um,
not just 3 track EPs.
yeah, I love EPs, man. You can just
Yeah.
get them out so much quicker. But yeah, so we were planning on five, but four ended up working out, and which is fine. And it turned out really well. And I feel like each time that we record, things progress a little more and a little more, and it's really nice. I'm really enjoying this process.
Yeah, when I heard the new EP, it was a little bit, sounding like this, how wanna call it, a feverish dream, something like that, in this sludgy way, and also like your singing in the opener, like with really, harmonic and everything, like whispering in my ear, like maybe we couldn't call it like that. How was the idea and concept of the songs on those 4 or 5, maybe one you have as a bonus track later? You have like, is it like a concept EP or just random songs brought together?
I don't think I've never really written like a concept album.
Okay.
Uh, but but I feel like there's always a little bit of an underlying theme of a couple different things, always with the songs that I write and stuff like that. I feel like, with writing, like the themes that I choose are usually, I'm a little bit of a happy person, so I don't tend to like, you know, gravitate towards negative subjects, if that makes sense. So like so many of the songs are like uplifting and like, super lovey-dovey, and I don't know, that's just who I am as a person. I'm just really happy. So yeah, I kind of feel like that translates really well, with with having the music be so dark too, if that makes sense. It's kind of really super polarizing, which is cool.
So you're just reflecting your good times in your music as well.
Yeah. Just, having a good time.
Yeah, that's a good point that you choose that this 70s vibe sludge music, where it's like used to be all about drugs and having a good time.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, like I'm super influenced by music from the 70s, so that makes sense,
Yeah, sure. And would you say, but you said before, the writing process was not, there was not any difference from the previous EPs, but would you, how would you describe the evolution from Anubis to The White, Touch, The Taste, Destroy to Nocturnal Transmission? Would you say there was like a progress for yourself you could reflect?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you can certainly tell that with Anubis, like, for me personally, like I can tell that the dude who recorded our first 3 EPs, I can definitely tell. I told Al, I was like, hey, just put a lot of effects on my vocals. I'm a shit singer. and then you can tell like there's like confidence being built up, I guess, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So there's a lot more experimentation going on and a lot more weirdness. Like, especially by the time you get to Touch, Taste, Destroy, there's some really different time signature stuff going on with the music. Like, there's some of the songs are definitely not in a straightforward 4/4 time signature. So it gets really weird, you know what I mean? Which I'm super cool with. But I think that it's this incarnation, like, so this record, this EP kind of takes like the grittiness of Touch, Taste, Destroy and kind of smooths it out a little bit. So definitely, because we changed who we record with, so we started recording this last EP with Siegfried, and Siegfried Meyer, and he is a very wonderfully experimental person, but he's also got that underlying sheen, so everything's super shiny and polished, which I really like. So that just kind of added another dimension, and also he's super weird, so he gets my weirdness. Like I can remember
there's a connection between you guys in some sphere, or something you call it.
Yeah. We worked together for so long. Like, I've known Siegfried for so long now, like almost 20 years. It's super cool that him and I can, like, we get each other for sure. So like, and I can just remember him saying to me when I was recording vocals, he was like, your harmonies are so weird. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, everything's minor, but your songs are like, major, but all of your vocals are minor. And I'm like, I guess that makes sense. Like, there's always a little bit of weirdness, especially with my vocal harmonies. They're different. They're I guess it's just the way that I hear things might be a little bit different. So weird, right?
Yeah. So was it a hard job to mix that everything together to sound it harmonic? Would you say? In your weirdness.
You know what? You gotta try different things, right? Like, and if you're not like, hey, let's see if this works, you're never going to know, right? If that's going to be the thing that's going to make the song pop. So the nice thing about working with Siegfried too is like, I feel like I could make mistakes and he's not going to be like, oh, she sucks. You know what I mean? So I feel like I can make mistakes with him around, which is kind of nice. And I can be like, hey, let's try this. And then we try it. And if it doesn't work, it's not a big deal, right? So there's that.
So you have a much more comfortable feeling recording with him than maybe you had some bad experience back with Kittie, like 20 years ago recording? Maybe.
Well, I mean, like, recording is always weird to me because, like, I'm not, like, an overly confident person, and I'm not really a person that's like, I know what I'm doing all the time. I just feel like that's not really who I am, and I'm always like, oh, God. I constantly think I'm terrible, and nothing is ever good enough. So for me, that it's nice to have somebody be comfortable with me and make me feel a little more comfortable, especially when I'm, in a situation like, recording like this, where it's super uncomfortable for me.
But at least you are a perfectionist, but I think nearly most of the musicians are. So you always want to push yourself with your music.
Oh, for sure. I feel like I would suck really bad if I didn't push myself, right? Like, it would be awful. And like me feeling the way that I feel about, my abilities and stuff like that, that just keeps me and makes me continue to strive to do better things, if that makes sense.
Yes, it keeps you growing and always, pushing yourself and, learn new things. Like, you never stop learning as a musician or in any other things, So that I think that's a good way to see it. I think for writing,
exactly.
Yeah. And as you said, you like EPs. Will there be a full album?
I think at this point we've just kind of really decided that EPs are the way to go. We can get them out a lot quicker, and we can release an EP a year, whereas releasing a full album a year might be a little much. I just feel like I want to continue to keep the fans on their toes, if that makes sense. So, if people are enjoying the band, they can expect to have something out at least once a year, and be super excited about, knowing that they're going to get something rather than having to wait 3 years for me to write an entire, 9 songs or whatever. Also, if we did like 9 or 10 songs, that would be like 3 vinyl.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, if each song is like 10 minutes or something like that. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, sure.
So, like, yeah. Could you imagine? Like that's a lot. That's a lot of vinyl. So, and I feel like a triple vinyl might be. I mean, that might happen. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up doing that. But for the time being, I feel like, we'll probably continue to push through EPs until, somebody forces us to do a full album.
Yeah, that is like when you say that, like with the long songs, there there's that joke about grindcore bands. You are 20 minutes late to the show, you missed the first 3 bands. But the same joke is about the sludge bands. You're 20 minutes late, they are still at the first riff.
Exactly.
So maybe.
God, some of the bands that we play with, man, like it's like they legit play 2 songs and that's their 30-minute set. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, there's also a lot of those epic called black metal bands or something with 14 to 20-minute songs and stuff. Yeah, but I think it's hard to build a song like that in the structure, like this long.
I just, to be honest with you, I don't have the attention span. Like, even writing a song that's 5 minutes to me, I'm like, God, is this song ever gonna end? Like, I feel like, like that might be a little much. But regardless, I mean, like, and that's a lot of stuff to remember too. I don't feel like I could remember a 12-minute song. Maybe I could, who knows? I've never tried it. But maybe that's something for us to shoot for.
So you think live will be a hard thing to play it then? Like remembering all the notes for 12 minutes.
Yeah, and then imagine you have like 5 of those 12-minute songs. Like, I couldn't imagine remembering all of that.
And also, I saw that you brought for the last song of the EP, Tell It to the Sky, you made that video. I think it was released this week or on the weekend, last weekend?
Yep, I think it was like last week sometime at the beginning of the week, like Tuesday or something.
Yeah. And how was the video shot for that? In the Corona situation, everything. Where did you film it? And it looked like a cellar or something.
So this is okay. So I teach yoga in my free time, and I also teach spin, like a spin bike, like indoor cycling. So because of this, I have access to a lot of weird places. And one of the weird places that I have access to is one of the main studios that I teach at. That is just kind of outside of town in a town called St. Thomas here, and just outside of London. And they have a spin studio there and a hot yoga studio. Now, in the basement is like Creepy Town. And I've been down there many times, and I always say to the owner, man, you should let me, take photos down here, or you should let me do whatever. And then we wanted to film the video for Tell It to the Sky, and I was like, hey, can I use your basement this Saturday? And she was like, oh yeah, go ahead. So anyway, we show up. I have a friend of mine who has a production company. It's just basically two guys. They're called 331 Arts here in town in London, and they do such an amazing job. And they're really nice guys. And Mike, one of the guys who does some of the camera work, he also is in a band called Hiroshima Hearts, which they're pretty awesome. My friend Jen sings in that band. And I always like to use local people and make sure that, we support each other in that way. So, it was just the two guys, and then myself, Kira, Shane, and our live drummer, Perry. And we just took, a couple hours. I went and rented all the lights from a production company that is not too far down the street. And so we took care of that, and we filmed for a couple hours, and we made sure it was very distant. Like, we weren't anywhere near each other or anything like that. Everybody wore masks, and it was super great. It was a great experience. Probably, and they were the same people that did the In Love and Ritual video as well. So both guys did an amazing job for both videos, and we shot the In Love and Ritual video right in the thick kind of lockdown still. It was shot In Love and Ritual was shot at a gym that I teach yoga at. Because it was a giant open wide space, right?
Why not getting advantages of your job? Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And the gym was closed. It wasn't open yet to the public yet because it was still partially locked down. We were partially locked down here. So I was just I messaged the owner. I was like, can I use your gym for a night? And they were like, yeah, sure. So, and the same guys, they did an amazing job, and everybody should go follow them because they do videos for a lot of local people in town and stuff like that. And, they deserve all the credit.
So, and in the video, when you said everyone was wearing masks, so I think the shots were just each one of the band members, just a single. So you took off the mask, get your shot, and then you took it on again, and the next one was on.
Yeah. So I actually, because everybody else was wearing masks, and I teach in that building, I was just I know you guys, we're fine. But Mike and Tyler, the guys filming, wore masks. And Kieran Shane did as well too when they were in the room with everyone. So.
And who did the cutting and editing and everything from the video?
Tyler from 331 Arts. So both him and Mike that's their kind of collective thing, and they Tyler did the editing, and both Tyler and Mike did the filming, and it was great.
That's cool to see that still doing the DIY stuff.
Listen, I have always been the most DIY person I feel like ever. So I'm totally cool with it. I just like supporting local people. And, if we're pals and you're really good at your job, I'm always going to support you and try and use you to the best of my ability and give you money and support, and in turn I get a really cool product at the end, right? So it's a good give and take, right?
Yeah, sure. I also try to do that here as well, like with local promoters and like with small venues. If bands come around, like try them to get to play there or help out. So it's like,
Yeah.
I think still this kind of music is not just sludge. I think also all around in metal and extreme underground, whatever. If this is from fans for fans, still for me always.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Awesome.
And when you said you were so influenced by 70s music, was that also the reason why you took for this band the Stoner Sludge thing? Is that some kind of your favorite music? Or why you said, I want, I step off from the drum kit from Kittie and play in a sludge band?
I don't really know. Like, it's weird because, like, I don't know if the White Swan ever set out to be like super doomy or super sludgy, um, but it's just kind of something that happened, right? And it has a lot to do with the tuning that we use and the fact that I don't like fast music. So, and I just, like the older you get, the more you just want to be like, I just want to listen to some chill music. I don't need to be listening to something that's 200 beats per minute anymore. I'm not, 16. And you want to, like, I feel like, yeah, I just want to write some chill music. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, I'm into a lot of weird 70s stuff. And I find like a lot of music from that era was super chill, so it makes sense. And like super vocal heavy too. Like that's another big thing that I'm into. Like really layered vocal harmonies, and I find that that's definitely a big thing with the music of that era.
You also like this some kind of old school doomy death metal stuff, like maybe from the early 90s, the band called Winter. Maybe you know them. Was the recent Nuclear Blast record, so it's a pretty cult classic, like really deep, dark, barky vocals, and like this, slow riffing and stuff like that. You also more into that, or more like just the 70s stuff, or
Definitely,
sounding like that?
Definitely, like let's be honest here. If I'm gonna listen to metal, I'm gonna listen to something like super old. Like I'm gonna listen to some 90s stuff, like Where the Slime Lives, like Morbid Angel.
Morbid Angel, yeah.
Like
I remember the music video from the Domination album. Yeah.
So, like seriously though, like that whole album is just like out of control. Not that I'm like a huge Morbid Angel fan or anything like that, but like just the riffs on that album are just amazing. But it's pretty rare that I'm going to listen to something like that nowadays. Sometimes I'll throw it on, or throw on some Pantera or something like that. But yeah, like mostly I just like really well written songs, you know what I mean? And it doesn't really matter what genre they come from. It's about how they make me feel. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Listen to the stuff with what you like and can chill out, give you the best feeling you can have from it, the most benefits from the music. I listen to a lot of fast stuff, as I'm a total brutal death metal maniac, grindcore and stuff like for 20 years plus, probably.
That's
but
okay.
What? Sorry?
I said that's okay.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear it. Yeah, and yeah, but as you said, Pantera, I was lucky enough to catch one of the drumsticks of Vinnie Paul. I think it was 3 months before he died, when he was on tour with Hell Yeah.
Oh wow! He was always one of my most favorite drummers.
Yeah, he had one of those special styles. I think playing for sure along with his brother. I think that was also like a good harmony for writing songs.
Yeah, on top of that too, like looking back, especially at Pantera's earlier stuff, they're just basically Van Halen on steroids. Like
I never saw it like that, but yeah.
Yeah, cat stuff. There we go. Yeah, they're like Van Halen on steroids, basically. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I bought the last Rock Hard magazine, and there was a '90s special inside of it, like a throwback how it started, also in with a German kind of view, and they printed there was Pantera special inside, and they printed a picture of Phil Anselmo with the tightest leather pants ever. And you see in the picture, he's like standing there, and you totally see his dick in that picture. It was the worst picture ever to choose in a magazine, I think. But they did it. I don't know why, but yeah.
They clearly did that for a reason. That's
I
funny.
think so, yeah.
Oh my God. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I showed it to my wife, and she's also one of the biggest Pantera fans I know, and she was like, why?
Hilarious.
Yeah. I remember when we did that stuff, picking up the Great Southern Trendkill in 1996, and I was in a record store, and I just bought it in my teens because I liked the cover with the snake. But it was a good choice because it changed my opinion of listening to music in '96. Definitely.
Yeah. That's, for me, Great Southern Trendkill, like, that's my favorite Pantera record. I know, like, a lot of people are like, oh, vulgar display of power, or whatever. Great Southern Trendkill, that's my jam right there. So
for me, it was my first Pantera album, so I agree with you. And I also like the slow song Flots and everything. That's one of my favorite tracks, to be honest. Yeah. And again, back, what was the idea to start the White Swan, and stop doing drums and Kittie, or Kittie was in a hiatus, or you were doing your documentary and everything, and since 2011 there was no new material, so you thought you want to do something different,
so
writing
like,
again.
Yeah, I just got really bored. Basically, the band that I had played in directly after Kittie was a band called the Alcoholies, and they were like a power pop band, and we basically we gigged a lot. My friend Dana was in that band, and Tanya, Kittie's first bass player, was in that band as well. So we played together for quite a bit, and Tanya left after a while, and we ended up getting Kira, the bass player for the White Swan, who's now in White Swan, to play in the Alcoholies. So kind of after that ran its course, and we stopped playing shows around 2015. It was kind of just like, well, I need to do something else. Like, I need to play. And I was playing in a couple other cover bands and stuff like that, just to, keep my chops up and stuff. But I just really like playing live, and I wanted to do something a little different. So I just kind of decided that was a nice thing to do. And I know that Kira really wanted to play as well. So I messaged her one day, and I was like, hey, you want to start a band? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so this is what it's called. I've already bought the domain, and we're going to do this, okay? And she's like, okay. And I was like, do you know anybody that plays guitar? And she was like, well, why don't we just get Shane? And I was like, okay, that's perfect. And for the longest time, I wasn't exactly 100% sure what I was going to do in the band. Because I had all these guitar riffs, but I'm not necessarily like, a crazy, amazing guitar player or anything like that. I knew what I wanted the band to sound like, so it was just kind of the natural progression of trying to figure out what to do, I guess. And when I decided that I was going to sing in the band, because I didn't want to, tell somebody else how to sing songs. So when I decided that I was going to sing in the band, I was like, well, I don't want to just stand there, and I probably should get, I should probably teach myself how to play guitar and sing at the same time. So for exactly 1 week, it took me a week to figure out how to sing and play guitar.
So you didn't ask your sister for some help? Some
No.
ideas?
No. She probably would have done it, but yeah, I didn't want to bug her.
Okay, got it. Keep this stuff out of the family, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, just for your information, on your official YouTube Kittie channel, the last videos of Brackish and Charlotte, I did the HD remaster for you.
Oh, so she did tell me about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, because like we've been looking for HD quality versions of our older videos, and we can't find any. Like they're almost impossible to find.
You really don't want to know how I did it. I took the old Spit City I bought in 2000, and also the Paper Doll EP where the videos are on, and you could start that little player. It was like this big on a full HD or 4K monitor. And I screen captured it with Bandicam software and put it to full HD and used the master audio from the CD. But it worked out pretty well. Yeah.
You would never know. You would never know. You did an amazing job. Holy shit. I had no idea that that's what you did.
Yeah, I also did that with what I've always wanted. But I don't know if Morgan checked it out already.
Well, the thing is, it's like we can't monetize any of those videos or anything like that.
You don't have the rights of that, or
no. But I know I have already from when we made the documentary. I have like 1,000+ hours of footage.
Okay.
That wasn't even used in the documentary. Of like old live shows and stuff like that. So Morgan and I were talking about at some point. Because I just found the hard drive for that. So her and I were talking about getting all of that footage and putting it up on YouTube because they can't touch our, the label can't touch any of our live stuff. So we have the rights to all the live stuff. So we can put that up. And so that would be something kind of fun for everybody to check out.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, like nobody's seen, unless you were at those shows, nobody's ever seen them. Like we used to all the time we used to I'm not trying to quit Skype. I'm trying to quit Slack.
You can call me back, no problem.
No, that's okay. But yeah, like unless you were at the show, you would have never seen any of that stuff because YouTube didn't really exist until like much later on. And we used to confiscate when we would find people like filming our shows, we would take the tapes and keep them for ourselves. Yeah. So we'd wait for them to be finished first. But like, like other than bootlegs, that stuff's pretty hard to find. You know what I mean?
So you already have also have to digitalize all of the VHS stuff probably from back in the day, or is it?
Yeah, I have everything. It's crazy how much I have. Because like everything we ever filmed, like we had like digital hi8s, and I got all of those done and digitized and put on a hard drive. Mm-hmm. So we've got everything. There's so much stuff.
Looking forward to see something on YouTube or wherever. Or
maybe we'll bother you to do some HD stuff.
Go for it. I have a lot of free time. I'm at home all the time, so no problem.
Well, that sounds exciting.
And depending on the current situation we are all around the globe facing, and you already had some tour plans for this year, which you probably had to skip, and you have maybe something for next year, but I don't know. I think we will have this for a little bit longer, in my feeling personally, but you have something in mind for 2021?
I mean, I would love to play shows because this is the longest I've ever gone without playing a show in 23 years. This is the longest I've ever gone without playing a show. Like, that's crazy. I've never gone this long. This sucks. And I'd really like to play shows. I'd really like to come to Germany and do the UK and Holland and stuff like that. To be honest with you, like, I would much prefer to go over to Europe. So
there are more metal fans here?
You know what? I just feel like it's a great place to be. And like looking at like where our streams and where our sales come from, Europe is a pretty big market for us. So, and especially the UK and Germany. So, I mean, like, I would love to come over there again. I miss it. It's so much fun over there. And I just feel like it would be a really good experience to just go pack up, even if I went for like, we went for like a week, 7 days or whatever, and just like banged out 7 shows and then went home. I feel like it would be really good.
Yeah, maybe you can catch up some festivals when they are back on. So now in Germany here we have so many festivals and concerts. Normally, there was like I'm to be honest, because Germany is small. It's smaller than Texas, you know, and stuff like that. So I'm pretty spoiled with shows, you know, because I can drive everywhere. So pretty close. Like in 3 or 4 hours, I'm mostly is pretty close. Yeah. So I think like in Canada, in USA, it's pretty much different with the whites, because I also, like 6 years ago, I was in California for 4 weeks, and I was just driving like 4,000 kilometers and more. And it's like, okay, that's pretty much different than in Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because like Europe, all of the countries are a little smaller. And, you know, like to drive from one end of Germany to the other, it's probably only, you know, 6 hours or whatever, or 7 hours or 8 hours.
Yeah, for me to drive to Berlin is like 7 hours, something like that, to Hamburg. Yeah, so it's easy.
Yeah, so like I can drive 7 hours in Ontario and
It's still the same state, right?
still be in the same province. Like I can drive for 24 hours and still be in the same province. So, like, it's everything's a little more compact, which is nice. And like, but the nice thing about Germany is like, you can go to so many different cities there in such a small space. So the drives aren't crazy or anything like that. And it's a really nice way to kind of, you know, visit and go check out the cool places. Go to Berlin. I love Berlin. Berlin's a great place.
Yeah, you can see it like this. No, depending on the size of Germany, we have over 80 million people here. Compare that to Canada or USA and the size and how many people are living in your place. So you can think of how crowded it is. Also for me, I was living 7 years straight in Stuttgart with my wife and the West area, and this depending on how many people per square meter. I think it's one of the most crowded places still there, because you have a lot of you know, multiple family houses and stuff like that, and so it's pretty crowded depending on that. But yeah, it's still, we are a small country.
Small country, but you guys have way more people than us, so
yeah,
there's just like a lot of uninhabitable land here. Like in the Canadian Arctic, you don't want to live up there. It's cold.
Nah, my wife would kill me if we moved there. She's Italian, so no way. She likes the hot weather, you know.
Yeah, I don't blame her at all. Snow is terrible.
But I'm thinking. I remember I read it from a show you played also here in my area. I was in Schorndorf. I think it was 2008 or 2010 with Kittie. I read a lot of comments from a live video that some guys were delivering you with currywurst. I don't know if what was that kind of story. I read it a couple of times, that your the Kittie currywurst addiction, curry sausage addiction.
So basically, at some point, I believe this would have been both 2008 and 2010. So we had a lovely German man that sold merch for us on both of those tours. His name was Dietliff. He was a very large man. He was like 2 meters tall, and just a all around really super sweet guy. I love Dietliff so much. But he introduced us to currywurst, and it kind of became an obsession of ours. But also just like the sausages in general, like.
Not the sauce, not the curry powder, or.
Yeah, not, and it's not even the currywurst sauce. It was just like, like the sausages in general that we were. So we started, and this is back like, MySpace and like Facebook days. So we would like go on and be like, hey, we're going to be here. If you're coming to the show, bring us sausages.
Okay, you can think differently about that statement.
Yeah, so we were
Sorry.
so we were like, bring us all the German sausages. We want to try them. So people were like showing up with like giant things of sausage, like different kinds of like knockwurst and all sorts of other wonderful things for us. And it was really super cool because we liked sausages.
So no vegan times.
No.
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 Besides that, do you already started like writing for new songs? Now, as you said, you want to bring it like once a year or something, so you have already that one track you mentioned before, which didn't made it to the EP.
So I have like a list here. I'll show you. So like these are all new songs, all new.
Okay, I just see a white screen, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. You're just gonna see like weird titles like the White Swan riff and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, I've got pretty much everything kind of laid out for what I want to do for the next little bit, and I just have to go in and demo some stuff, and then kind of take it from there and see what happens.
So at the moment, I think you cannot go in the jam room together, or is it okay with your other band members?
Yeah, probably not right now, which is kind of sad, but hopefully things kind of ease up a little bit, and Kieran Shane coming over here is not a big deal, because I don't leave my house anyway, so...
Yeah, I feel you. It's pretty much getting locked down again here as well.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff popping up again, and some cities are getting into the lockdown situation again. But I think it's the same everywhere around that.
Yeah, it's it's flu season starting, and so and
combining everything.
Yeah, and people are starting to get a little bit unruly with all the lockdown measures and stuff like that. So.
Toilet paper is running low again.
Great.
Here in Germany, they already started, to hoarding the white gold again.
Oh my God.
That's really true. I don't know if you get from COVID that the baddest diarrhea ever, depending on how people buy it. So I don't know.
You know what? Like, just stop. I understand, like, you can't go to the fucking grocery store to go buy toilet paper. But there are delivery services that can do that. You don't need to buy like 20 things of toilet paper. Jesus, I can't.
Here it's already like just one per house, per family, just can buy one pack.
Yeah.
So it's limited in the stores already.
Just like behave. Come on, guys.
I don't know. That there's one speaking also in German. I try to translate it as best as I can. It's like if everyone thinks of themselves, you thought about everyone. You know what I mean?
If everybody thinks
about themselves, it has been thought about everyone, because everyone is thinking about themselves. So everyone thought about themselves, or thinking about themselves, because everyone is greedy and selfish, like this kind of situation. So sorry for my English, but I tried my best.
No, I was like, is that what he means? Because like that's hilarious. No, that's hilarious though. It's true though. And yeah, it just kind of seems like everybody's just getting a little weird lately. This is what a time to be alive, right? Like this is seriously the strangest thing to happen ever.
Yeah, for me also truly, like, depending, born in the beginning of the 80s, and since then, I think that's the weirdest time I imagined in nearly 40 years of my life, So.
Right? What, like who would have thought that this would happen?
No one.
Right? Clearly
I
nobody
think so.
thought of it.
Or maybe people hoping that the Walking Dead happen or something like that.
God. That's the last thing that we need right now.
Yeah. No. No. Please not. But I also have something I wanted to show you. I found that in an old a record store sellout, and Morgan already approved that it's legit. Sorry, this is from the Oracle days. I found it. Can you see it?
Yes, that is real.
Yeah. And there's like I know it's inverted, but there is a card to say you please send me more information from Sony about Kittie. And you put your name and everything inside. What is your favorite Sony artist? What's your last 3 CDs you bought? It's like really, really old school. It's really funny.
That's great though. Hilarious. Yeah. I don't think I've ever like clearly I signed that, but I don't think I've ever like seen something like that before. Interesting.
Yeah, this was like a feedback postcard or something like that. That's really funny because I'm a really big record collector. I have nearly about 4,000 CDs and vinyl and everything, and I'm always checking out in second-hand record stores, like when they sell out something like that. And I from time to time find really, really cool stuff. Also Kittie. I also found old Oracle promo CDs and also an old Oracle promo poster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe I can change the webcam because I hung it also up. Wait a second. There is the
yeah.
It's that size, yeah. With that cover, yeah.
Nice.
I just have to change it again back. Okay. Yeah, it's really funny. I always try to buy stuff like that.
No, it's great though. A funny story about that poster is there's one of those posters in the place where we played our first show, and somebody drew mustaches on all of us in the poster at the venue, which I thought the last time I was there.
On this poster.
Yeah, not that particular poster, but the one at the venue where we played our first show. So somebody drew mustaches all over us and beards, which is pretty funny.
That was, but from the Spit tour then.
Oracle, yeah.
Well, Oracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also found one of the it was from the Spit, the promo from MIASMA Records, where I think on Paper Doll Tanya is singing, right? On the promo, the different version, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I also found the Japanese version of Spit, where that acoustic version of Charlotte is on.
Oh, I think I have a copy of that still in the wrapping.
Yeah, it was also still sealed. Yeah, and there was a translation of the lyrics from English to Japanese, because normally the CD doesn't have the lyrics.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. No, we did that on purpose. I actually don't remember why, but
I can tell you. You need to know.
I can't remember why we didn't put the lyrics. I feel like it was probably because it was too expensive.
So like the record company told you, please don't do a big booklet. It's too expensive to print it or something like that.
Probably.
But at least back in 99, 2000, you were still getting money from record sales, not like today.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Who knows what's going to happen in the next little while? Maybe CDs will make a comeback.
So vinyl did, so why not CDs, yeah?
Yeah, like honestly though, like, because White Swan puts out vinyl all the time, it's the way to go. It's great. I've really enjoyed releasing vinyl. It's for the real collector, right?
Yeah. I don't have so much vinyl, but CD, so I started with that. So, but I like to have like this big thing, like a big booklet, like this size, you know. So that's really cool. You have really something solid in the digital days. But as you said, you will release like one stuff a year. You're going with the wishes of the CEO of Spotify. Did you read the statement when he said, "Yeah, musicians can't think they just release an album every 3 years and get a payment or something that big." So I don't know.
Oh, boy. Hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that I would like to get something out really soon, to be honest with you. Like, I know, like, when I first started doing interviews for Nocturnal Transmission, I was saying maybe January, but I'm hoping maybe February or March.
Take your time.
What about
So it's just out. So for I always think, take your time, make good music. For me, it's no hurry. Or maybe that's just my thinking because I'm a little bit older.
Yeah.
I don't need to get it injected like every second like younger people now at the moment, which are used to getting bombed with informations, you know.
See, this is what happens when you get older. You wanna like take your time. You wanna write slow music. You wanna listen to slow music. That's what happens. That's how I feel.
Everything
anyway.
slows down. Your body slows down. Your brain slows down. You know. maybe that's why I still listen to that fast music. It keeps me going. You know.
Oh yeah, that makes sense though.
So I know you are close to your next interview. So I will just can say thank you for taking part of this, and
Thank you.
it was really fun talking about your EP and a lot of random stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm here for. I like to chat a lot.
Yeah, me too. So that was just fun. It was just relaxing talk in the evening for me. And for you, just 2 days. Well, you're in the midday, right? 6 hours difference.
Yeah, it's like 4:30 here, so.
Yeah. So I just finished my beer. I'm German, so I need to. And then I think I will go to bed before my son wakes up and, I have to go to the duty.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. It would be funnier if you were having breakfast right now and drinking your beer with breakfast.
I can, but then it would be pretty much different from the time shift. You have to be in the morning or like at 12 o'clock or something. Maybe we can discuss that in at the weekends.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you are welcome. It was really fun. I will try to cut it as soon as possible to bring it out, and hope to bring some promotion for the EP. And I'm looking forward to hear new music from you guys, and maybe from Kittie as well.
Awesome. Well,
maybe.
Awesome.
Yeah, and when everything of this stuff is over, that you guys can go back to touring again, and let me know when you are around.
Perfect. That sounds great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a nice day and enjoy your next interview.
We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Cheers.